Television. Oh, yeah. M. Harawira. Kia ora, Naru. Kia ora, Rocky. Kia ora, Maya. Kia ora. Tēnā koutou. Kia ora, Tyler. My weekend. What happened on the weekend? Yeah, kei te pai, kei te pai. Just manaki tamariki. Looking after my kids. Kia ora ngahia. Kia ora Tamara. I also hope that everyone has had a wonderful weekend. Taking some time out for yourself. If I'm looking a bit sweaty, it's because I've been to the gym. I'm doing cardio. And it sucks. Kia ora Hutu. Kia ora Miki Matenga. Kia ora Clayton. Tēnā tātou katoa. And I've only just kind of walked in the door, cooked me some dinner. Rena tanepe. Kia ora, brother. I am so pretty. Of course. Kia ora, mata. Tēnā koe rangi te whiu. Hea te kaupapa mata mo te pōnei? Well, he patapata he uinga ki tō Jess taha. Ooh, that's a bit forward, Mr. Javan. Where am I staying? Don't know if I want to give away that info. Nā, kei here tanga. Man, because I've just walked in the door, I wasn't able to get a whole lot of the corridor from Chauncey. So I try to remember it. Hi, goat. Oh, country. Oh, yeah, Aotearoa. Yeah, Jess. We're getting in Jess. Which I'm looking forward to. She's, she tells it how it is. And we love her for that. Kia ora te arepa. Tēnā koe, brother. I'm looking pretty sweaty. The Jess. What other Jess? Oh, there she is. Yes, I cannot wait for Jess either. Am I a Māori teacher? Cole? Oh, I'm just, actually, I'm not going to give away my job. But I work with Māori. The notorious Jess. Notorious, you say? How about that word, Jess? Kia ora, Peter. Oh, let's just get you in right now, eh? Let's just get straight into it, eh? Brother Peter, are you available, Popo? Hey, Sissy.
Kia ora.
How are you?
Pie.
You got this, eh?
Oh, yeah, everything. Kia ora koutou.
Let me just quickly wrap up the corridor with Chancey. Last time we were speaking to them. Kia ora, koro Josh. Okay, so Chancey's corridor. I've only got a few, but just so that we can remember for the future. She is one of the only people in her whānau. He is one of the only people in his whānau that can probably speak te reo Māori. And other than his nan was an amazing support system during his rehab. So I had asked Chancey whether te reo Māori played a pivotal part of that. And yeah, it was cool. Cool to hear that. Straight into our whakatauki. He mana ko te koura I kore ai. The crayfish won't jump into your net because you wish for it. Do the mahi, get the treats. Mā whero, mā pango, ka oti te mahi. With red and black, the mahi will be completed. E hara taku toa I te toa takitahi, engari taku toa he toa takitini. My strength is not of the individual. My strength comes from many a people. Kia ora, kia ora, kia ora. Ki waha, he raru ki uta, he raru ki tai. He raru ki uta is a minor issue. So if someone's like, man, I can't get internet. Well, he raru ki uta. Minor problem. He raru ki tai is a serious issue. Our kiwaha was kei rohea, lest we get bored. So, ka tō tika atu tātou ki ngā kōrero, kei rohea, te hunga mā takitaki. We'll get straight into the pātai just soon, lest the people who are watching will get bored. Kupu hou, maki huhunu, unfair. How would you use that, Jess? In the back of our mind. Her hapa he doesn't like is the T sound. Yeah. And last point there was to remember to say your kōrero with heart and intention. Pai noa? He actually said that the problem with panekiretanga reo is that it's all flashy but no heart. And I think that I kind of agree with that. What do you think about that, Jess?
It was interesting. I watched that live, and I never really thought about it until Chansey brought it up, and I'm like, well, not all, but quite a lot that I've seen, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to connect to our kupu. Another hapa that I just want to tag on. Now, someone catch me if I'm wrong here, but I often hear someone kei te pēhea koe, and someone says, "Oh, kei te pai, me koe." A koe. A koe. A koe. He oi anō. Tēnā koe, Jess.
Kia ora, tēnā koe.
It's good to see you. Feels like we haven't been in life together for a while.
We've been busy. Life has been busy.
Life has been busy. Have you taken some time for yourself?
Yeah, of course, but I still need to jump on now and then to ruffle some feathers.
Oh.
Gotta keep the people entertained.
Absolutely. We have to ruffle them feathers. Hewa no, kia whakawātea ia tātou tēnei pāhotanga mataora, tēnei wānanga. Nei reira, mehe mea kei te pira koe ki te whakatuwhera ia tātou. Well, tuwhera tēnei wānanga, mahau tēnā, ki te kore, mākuno.
Ko koe.
Ka pai. Tēnā tātou katoa. Kia karaki a tātou. Tuia I runga, tuia I raro karongo te pō, karongo te ao I te wānanga, I te kōrero pua, takataka pua, whiowhio pua, whia te maramahu nuku, te maramahu rangi. Takoto ki te hau nō tū te wini wini, nō tū te wana wana, nō tū kaputa ki te whai au ki te ao marama. Haumi e hui e tae ki. Oh, we're red, you're too right. I was like... Tūwhera tātou, I te. Kia ora. Okay, so we're all good. We're all good. Just want to reiterate some of the kōrero, everyone. This is what I've been trying to say through every wānanga kōrero. Since this is a wānanga space, ko tō piki amukura nōu, ko tōku piki amukura nōku. We can agree to disagree on kōrero. Kei te pai no. The space is for everyone with, people with this whakaaro and that whakaaro. We are not the judge, jury, executioner. We are products of our environment that we were brought up in, and we're allowed to hold the whakaaro that we have. Kia ora rā.
I don't remember you doing that disclaimer for others.
I have, but I just didn't do it straight away. I kind of In other words, don't get offended.
Way.
But
Oh,
great observation.
I get the disclaimer about pie.
You get you need it. You need the disclaimer. Ko wai koe, nā wai koe, no hea koe.
Ka tipa ke ai ke te tau o tōku pāpa no te awa tipa o Wanganui. Te pito o te motu ko Oha Kune, actually.
Te karoti o te motu.
Heoi, i te tau o tōku mama no ngā hapu maha o Ngāti Maniapoto Tainui Waikato.
Kia ora rā. Any pūrākau from those spaces that you know?
Kau.
Okay. Any from just any so that you can remind us?
No, I can't think. I didn't think of that. I was thinking of all your questions. I didn't think of that one.
Okay, well, can you tell us why the hell there's a big carrot in Ohakune?
We have a lot of carrot farms. And if you're a marae around that area, you also get free carrots.
How fantastic.
Free carrots and sometimes potatoes, depending on the season.
Do you have a lot of rabbits?
No.
Horses?
Not that I know. Oh, we do. We kind of also like get rid of rabbits.
You get rid of a lot of rabbits.
As a sport and sell them. I don't want to
So
say
there are plenty.
Yeah, I don't want to say the word because we could get bananas.
Okay, let's just move on to the next one. What are some of the sorry, not the pūrākau, but the tribal maxims, the pepeha, of any of those spaces? So I know they call it te nehe nehe nui for Maniapoto. Is it a pepeha?
Depending on whereabouts. So te nehe nehe nui, te rohe pōtai, all kind of fall under the same, but depending on which area you're from will be depend on what people say.
Okay. What is te nehe nehe nui?
Like, where is it? What is it?
No, like, what does it mean? Why is it applied to specifically that space?
Sorry, I'm not a person. I don't have a stand. Oh, that's a bit hohonu.
Let's go.
I'm like, I wasn't prepared for this. Why that area? To be honest, I don't actually know why that specific area. Te rohe pōtai, depending, there is a kōrero around te rohe pōtai that an actual pōtai was placed over top of a map. And everything that sat within that pōtai space was the whenua that was claimed as te rohe pōtai.
Must have been a big map.
Hey, we're not that big of an area.
To cover all that space. So either a big map or a small hat.
Alright.
Nā horo ta te kōrero I taki te nehe nehe nui. Oh, kai te pai. What's your mita? And what are some key differences in your mita compared with others?
It depends. Mine's mixed, I suppose, going through kura. We have kaiako, we're from different rohe. One side being from Aotea. So we have no H, and there's a debate on how the sound is created. There's like a glottal stop sound, or it's like a soft W. I suppose that would be my main, would be Aotea, and then the mix of Waikato as well. And then also, ka tipaka ki te tau o ku whānau no tūhoi, so there is sometimes a tūhoi sound in there, but I have no hononga directly to the area. It's just the people that it was brought up around.
Yeah, I suppose just adapting to the spaces that you're occupying, and just picking up different things from different places.
Even where I am now, I'm kind of surrounded by a lot of tūhoias as well. So
yeah, and they're very strong in carrying their mita all over the place. They're pretty.
Yeah, even in English.
Nothing.
The phone is rinnin.
So what is it? So what is your whakaaro on the glottal stop, or whether it's was it aspirated?
It's The sound, like it's like you're. This is my whakaaro. It's like you're going to whistle. So for whānau, it's whānau.
Whānau.
Like you're about to whistle, don't just say wānau. It
Yeah,
sounds
because I have heard the glottal stop, the whānau.
yeah, when people just like fully remove the letter, to me it just sounds a little bit.
So there you have it, e te iwi, whānau.
It's a weird. It's like I don't know. I suppose if you grew up with it, you're used to hearing it. You just know how it's supposed to sound.
You know, I've watched this movie, it's called Hot Rod, and for whatever reason, the guy kept saying whiskey. Is that the same? Whiskey?
Kind of, but not. Well, see, look, there it is there. So with Taranaki, I can tell with Taranaki when I hear them that they're not from the awa, from Wanganui. There's a different sound to it.
Cool. I think that, you know, the Aotea dialect is one that, like, I can put up with, like, when we look at the kaitahu.
Not to put up with.
When we look at the kaitahu, nah, I can't put up with it.
I do struggle with them though, understanding, but you know, interested to learn and happy to listen, but I struggle with understanding them.
Kia ora. I think when we look at like he waka putanga, why is it called he waka putanga? And even in Te Tiriti or Waitangi, there's it's like dropped H's. And so, like, how did that make it there? Is it so that they could purposely avoid this whaka sound?
I have heard that debate. We had the mita before they came.
Yeah. Cool. Wanona. What are some kupu that you use in those rohe that we don't really use in other rohe? So, like, other than pan tribal.
Oh. I find a lot, and might not just be Wanganui, might be also Aotea in general. I find a lot, not so much kupu itself, but I find a lot of doubles. So, for example, instead of saying karere mai te awa, it's karere mai te awa. Like I've noticed a lot of doubles in Aotea.
Yeah, I've heard the word rangi used a lot. E rangi. And with Taranaki. Now, I'm joking, e te iwi. I love the Aotea Taranaki Wanganui dialect. No jokes. Jess, what are your passions?
Being Māori. Te tuatahi. Being Māori. Passions. What do I have passions about? I don't really know. Being in spaces that are usually I wouldn't fit the norm.
Okay, can you evaluate on that a little bit more?
Elaborate.
Where's my brain at?
Passion being a taniwha. Passion, so being in spaces, we call it like activating spaces. So spaces that you wouldn't normally find. So for those that don't know, unless you're fucking blind, I am a trans wahine. So spaces that normally you wouldn't find trans people in or LGBT people in. So for example, like clubs, I would always be in like a straight club. Just to sort of allow younger ones to see you there and be like, it's okay, this is a safe space to be in. And not trying to continuously make us always go into we only go to certain events and certain things because this is what fits us. We can be everywhere.
You know, we talk about mataora and, you know, how we occupy spaces to normalize the space. Or normalize traditions, and just for yourself, you probably just anywhere you go, you're normalizing trends.
Visibility, I suppose, and being open to being in these spaces. 1 second. Aroha mai koutou. Someone is trying to call me. Let me just.
tell them to bugger off. Yeah. Indigenise our space. Re-indigenise. Indigenize. Heoi anōi, Tiwi. We're off to a cracking start. But last
Just to say, not to say that those two things like moko kanohi and those are even on the same level, but in that sort of whakaaro, just to be in those sort of spaces.
That's cool. Because it takes a certain level of bravery to do that. I mean, that's me pointing that out.
Because your people don't necessarily receive you in the best manner. Even in 2023, there's still issues. So obviously, when we come across those issues, we deal with them as they come.
Do you think that, you occupying those spaces is in itself ruffling feathers?
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. And you just bring it over to TikTok. We love it.
100%.
When did you start your real journey?
I'm one of the first, I'm not trying to clock my age here, but I'm one of the first years of Kohanga Reo. So nobody needs to calculate that though. Kura kaupapa, I'm a whāngai child to my kuia and karawa. So within our whare, I heard it a lot. We travelled a lot. My grandparents were the ones that, shut up, Rain. My grandparents were the ones that travelled a lot in every hui kaupapa that we were at. So I suppose just being around it a lot. Yet it's funny because my mum and her siblings don't speak, but their parents did.
Any hypothesis as to why?
That generation. There was a lot of them, that generation. You were never going to go anywhere in life without English. English was going to get you the job. English was going to get you, out of home and everything like that. So I suppose by the time we came around, the world was different. Our grandparents didn't see, that kohanga was going to be a thing. Didn't see that kura kaupapa was going to be a thing. So I suppose they tried to change it with the next lot when we came through.
Do you think that they had this, say, our generation before us had this, because they had lost it, that perhaps they needed to invest in the next generation themselves? Or do you think it's just a product of us coming out of, colonization, or I wouldn't say coming out of colonization, but that it's just a natural part of the society that we're living in?
No. I think you have to put in effort. You have to go out, because people can live their life and not have it around them, and it can be literally next door. You've got to want it, and you have to seek it and put in the mahi to be able to, I suppose, gain that. We have access to a lot more resources now that our parents maybe didn't have, or didn't even know that we had, or didn't think there'd be no purpose in. Where's te reo going to get you? What's te reo going to do for you?
Kia ora. I think that we were probably taught the same thing.
Yeah. What's it going to do for you? I work here and they don't speak Māori here, so why do I need it? Don't speak Māori at my house. And for a lot of people, it's all right when I go to the marae, because there's a lot of our whānau there already do that mahi. So it was never a needed thing, but I think now we're realising a lot of our ahika are no longer there. Someone has to do it. If you don't speak reo, and the generation below you doesn't speak reo, when you're gone, reo in your whānau has gone.
Kia ora.
It's over.
We're having this kōrero today about, there are some people that are really free and willing to share information, even at their tohungatanga. And there's, people that I know as well that gatekeep that whakaaro. So literally, when they pass away, that mātauranga, that pātaka kōrero, that pātaka mātauranga is literally lost forever. So I think we have to use opportunities to share when we can. As long as it's the right kōrero.
Well, there's that as well.
Yeah, it's about, I suppose, controlling that narrative, as I'd heard a few months back. ensuring that what we are delivering to people is the right kōrero and pulling ourselves back when we know that it's wrong.
And being open to being wrong.
Kia ora rā.
Being open to being wrong.
So you grew up with your kaumātua, your nanny and koro. What other journeys have you been on in terms of te reo Māori?
Reo classes. And I've struggled with quite a few reo classes because I've tried different ways, right? Just to be around more people that speak reo. And I struggle with a lot of their learning structures. Te Atarangi is, to me, the best method that's been created in regards to learning. But even still, like, I've done classes and stuff like that, but still life gets in the way and, I've got to work this day that I'm supposed to have class or, things like that. So still on the journey.
That harks back to our very first kōrero with Renata, where he talks about you're not going to, you have to make some sort of sacrifice in order to learn te reo Māori, and whatever that might look like. It might look like, oh yeah, you can't go out drinking because there's a wānanga on Saturday. It could look like te mea. So yeah, just tagging on top of that.
What is it? A sacrifice. And if you chose to go to the party, which I've done multiple times instead of going to wānanga, you can't complain.
Can you tell us a little bit about this te atarangi? Because I don't think I was brought up with it.
So te atarangi method, what they're known for is using blocks or counters. The rākau, the coloured rākau. And so they were good, really good. Well, I think they're really good for differentiating the ka, ki, ko, and, past and present and everything like that. Mātou, tātou, all of those sort of things. It's just an easier way, especially I think with a lot of Māori as well, where a lot of us are visual learners. So it's just an easier way to learn, especially if you're a visual learner.
Yeah, the only time I ever used it was to ask what the color is. But and to hear these different uses and different applications of it, and how it's actually supported a lot of adults that are connecting and trying to learn as well. It's iwi, a great tool, resource for you to jump on. It's just te atarangi. So I just thought, since you mentioned that, thank you for that.
Te atarangi, there's a lot of resources in there, even online. Te Whanonga Raukawa does free online courses regardless of where you live, whether you live in Australia or New Zealand. Their next intake, I think, is June, July. If you're in Australia, Te Piki Hauora also does online, and Kanohi ki te Kanohi if you're in Brisbane, Gold Coast. Otherwise, they do online as well. There's a lot of online resources.
Look at that, Itiwi. This one's just organised.
And just saying that, if you are a grown adult and you complain about not having reo, it is your fault. And none of you can argue with that because you're sitting here on TikTok watching us instead of doing your online course. Priorities.
We'll come back to this. Don't run away because
Let's
back.
Go.
Go to your reo class after the sets. Sprung. Okay, so look, Itiwi, Jess is the ultimate organizer. What she's going to do is she's going to put together a list of all the things that you can do, all the resources that you can tap into so that you can attend those classes.
Actually, I will do that.
Kia ora. Love that. We have to be assertive if we want to get things done, so just... Kia ora, Jess. What have been some of the challenges that you've faced in learning your reo?
Ano?
What have been some of the challenges that you've faced in learning your reo?
Getting off my ass. The only challenges I've ever had is my own. The challenge of procrastination, the challenge of next week, do it next month. That the only problems I've ever had has been myself. Um, just too busy caught up in other things and just not putting in the effort. Literally not putting in the effort. My surroundings and everything like that never been a problem.
Yeah, about personal motivation, I suppose.
Yeah,
Discipline.
discipline, 100%. You know, I could be sitting here. Um, I could be sitting during the day if I'm not at work. I could be doing something. However, I'm sitting here scrolling on TikTok,
Yeah.
fighting with people, watching the grey chick pants videos and the Kai videos, you know, and calling people out, but you know, not doing what I should be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh man, I had a quarter on top of that, but it's quite wide. Oh. Oh yes, yes. So what I've done, Eti, and the reason why I start this at like 8 o'clock ish, and I know that some people probably like to have it around 8:30 because time differences and te is so that at 10:30 I can just pick up a book and read, and then that can put me to sleep somehow. But you're too right, in terms of us spending a lot of time on the TikTok, um, it consumes you.
It does. You just start scrolling along, and then all of a sudden, a whole hour's gone past, and yeah, priorities.
Kia ora. Have you experienced failure or shame?
Shame? No,
Oh,
no. Um, in
I
order
mean,
to
in your real journey,
within my shame, no, never. Failure, 100%.
why have you not experienced shame?
In order to feel shamed, I would have to have done something that I care that you care about. I don't
Mm.
care what you care about.
We love the honesty.
So shame, no. Failures, 100%. At the moment, failing.
Mm.
I'm not actively at the moment doing anything other than I'm in a lot of online wānanga and wānanga just in general, wānanga here, and stuff like that, kapaka and stuff like that, but and just in honing in on my reel, that currently is a failure because I'm not doing anything about it.
Kia ora. And we could be honest with ourselves.
Accountability, Dewi, accountability.
Yes. Note it down.
Write it down, stick it to your forehead.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Jess has shared with us some resources that can be helpful for your journey. Stuff that we can recommend in terms of starting out the real journey. Cool. Look, Chanti said a really cool one in regards to how we might encourage our whānau to learn te reo Māori, because many of us are often, I wouldn't say myself because I'm not the only one, but many whānau, the ones that we speak to are the only ones that are sort of keeping that ahika alive. And so one of her things in terms of encouraging the whānau to learn te reo Māori was book a ticket. Okay.
Those are the ones in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even there, the resources are there. If you're able to access TikTok, you're able to access real resources.
Mm.
So, and one common one, slightly off thing, but one common one I hear, which is, it doesn't matter who hears this, it's an excuse. I don't want to learn from someone that doesn't speak my mita.
Mm.
I want to learn from my people. Well, you don't live by your people. You haven't lived there for 20 years, so you might as well start somewhere.
That's odd. What? Like, because I see that as well. Like, then 20 years has gone by and they haven't learned any of their ill because of that.
No, with no intentions of moving back to their people, so it's just giving an excuse. Sprung
That's
again.
that's like, when I was at school, they're like, oh, why would you want to learn te reo Māori or te reo? When you can learn like Chinese, which is like obviously it's the business, it's going to be taking off in the future. Why wouldn't you learn that? And then 20 years pass, they couldn't even say ni hao.
Mm.
Look what that attitude got you.
Oh, I like that. Without commitment, you won't start. Without consistency and discipline, you won't finish. Oh, I like that.
Let's get that as that's a little whakatauaki.
I like that.
That can be a whakatauaki for actually whakamaori here e Kyle, so that we can make that our whakatauaki for our next
Yeah, I
video.
like that one. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Let's change. Oh, actually, what I want to know is like with the videos that you do. Often it's what I've noticed is quite a call out culture, but I wouldn't say call out. It's more so just ensuring that the narrative is kind of tika. Is that what the purpose of you coming to TikTok was?
So, Ja Huda, you had she probably doesn't even know this, but she's actually the reason why I came to TikTok. I've had TikTok for years, but there was a corridor that started, and it was the first time I had seen it around trans wahine, trans tane, and mokokanohi. And I've seen a lot of people on here now. There's a lot of Maori trans on here, but they don't. And this is not to like no, not to whakahihi or anything like that. But none of them are really doing any sort of Maori content. They were doing their dances and stuff like that in Pai. So a lot of the kōrero that was happening around that kaupapa was coming from people who weren't trans. So I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to do a video. Like, let me do a little response, just see how it goes. And then it went, well, in Māori TikTok, it started to go viral. And people kept asking questions. So I just kept replying to them. And then next minute, I'm on TikTok. Next minute, page banned, and now on this page. I still remember that video. But yeah, that's the reason why it was her and Jar Dreads were having a kōrero, I think it was, back then. So I was like, let me jump in here. Like, let me jump on this and see.
Wow.
My purpose in my videos is I find a lot of people, especially with Māori TikTok, I find a lot of people speak on kōrero. They have absolutely no mātauranga around.
Yeah.
I get asked quite a lot about moko. And if you don't realise, I'm not a kaita. That is not my realm, my space, or anything like that. So I won't speak on it. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing. But if you don't know, just...
Yeah, I've noticed that. And like, where are you getting your kōrero from the old Wikipedias?
Google. There's a lot of Google mātauranga going around. And also, just to throw another spanner in the works, your queer or your karawa could have been wrong, koutou. They are not the best source. They are not the best resource. They are for some, but hey, remember, for a lot of us, they were the first to live in a colonized world. So maybe Nana was wrong.
Whew. Who do we trust? Can't trust the cuckoo. Can't trust the Wikipedia. Can't trust your own bloody nanny.
Yeah, Nanny could have been wrong.
Oh, Aotea Roi Mataroa. This is shit.
It doesn't even look like a teardrop. I want to see someone cry like that.
Oh, hell. Sorry, Nanny, you're wrong, bro. Where'd that kōrero come from? Holy heck. So, yeah, I think that there's we got to be able to tap into, figure out a way so that we can tap into the right narrative, the right kōrero. Not to say that Jess knows everything.
I don't. I don't, but see, that's the one thing I don't. But if you see me coming with a kōrero, that's because I've looked into that and I'm ready. People just be making shit up now.
Hey, Jana, Jess was just bigging you up, saying that the reason why she came was because of you.
Yes, I was just saying it was your guys' kōrero back then about mokokanohi that made me jump onto TikTok.
That's so cool because I think I solidified being on TikTok because of her too. That's pretty cool. Too much, all right.
Do the research. Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard though because no, that's gonna make me go into a tangent. Carry on.
Okay, let's just park that one for now, for a little bit for now.
Scratch.
Beautiful
We'll
kōrero,
park that
beautiful
one really
kōrero.
quick.
Favorite whakatauki, whakatauaki. Tell us about it.
Oh,
We'll get there, Jana.
ka hoki ake mahara ki te wā e tamariki ana. I runga i te kōrero o ngā pakeke katoa te rawa. Ka re koe kei te tukahi i te kōrero Māori roto i tō whare, mā wai ako i tōna tamariki. So if you don't have it in your house, who's going to teach it?
Oh, I love that
Ko koe
kōrero.
te kai whakaako tō tamariki, tō mukapuna, te mea te mea. Ka re whai atu ki ngā tāngata no tauiwi ki te hāpai ake a rātai.
Kia ora, kia ora. That's a really beautiful one. So, e te iwi.
Also, just
Yeah.
quickly, just one little plug there. I'll do a video, guys. But Te Reo Labels is a website on Instagram, and they actually have labels for everything in your cupboards, your fridge, the name of what your fridge is. You can just chuck labels all over your house, find out some commands, and just start using it. Like the words will literally be on whatever you're looking at.
What was that?
It's called Te Reo Labels on Instagram, I think her name is. I've bought quite a few things on here. My house is labeled with everything. And then
Kia ora.
even with some of them I don't even know. I'm like, what is that? I got to put my finger going, what is that powder? Is that... But yeah.
So, if we can go back again to a kōrero that we have with Venata, which was, I think, a strategy that Scotty Morrison and Stacey Morrison use in their whare. So not only can you have those labels, but he suggests the strategy of actually placing 5 labels on appliances or whatever is in your household. And then after a week of using those kupu over and over again, you remove them. So it gives you the pressure of actually learning those kupu rather than just sitting there and you're kind of just looking every time to see what that kupu is. So te rapea, he rau I me mā koutou.
Love it.
Cool. We're all going to go on to that there, Jess. We're going to use that. That is such a cool little tip for us because I'll be using that as well.
Yeah, they got really cool stuff. They even have karakia that comes on a wooden board you can sit in your kitchen for kai. They've got quite a few things. Really good. But there's a few websites out there. You just got to search around. Yeah.
Cool. There we go. Another resource, Kupu, which is an app from Boyd's. Okay, so can you reiterate that kōrero? If you are not speaking to your tamariki at home, speaking to the Māori at home, then
who's going to teach them?
Who's going to teach them? So there's a kōrero in that in regards to like not just expecting other people to, create te reo Māori in your child. And then when it doesn't happen, you're like, what happened?
But that's for even for the ones, if your baby is in kohanga reo, or kura kaupapa, and then they're coming home to absolutely nothing, no reo from the parents, you're not helping. Learn with them. Hey, if you don't know and you have a baby when they're at kohanga, learn with them.
That's so true, because like my primary reo when I'm with my boys is te reo Māori, and I can see how quickly they're picking it up because that's the reo that's being spoken at their hoanga. And when like I can speak to them in te reo Māori and they understand everything that I'm saying, but when my ex-partner speaks Dutch, they understand, but the ability to respond is not quite there. So yeah, and also just like looking at, you can see how well kura kaupapa are doing based on the quality of reo, of tamariki that are similar or the same level. The same level. So my nephew has gone over to Rotorua, and the quality of his reo has improved so much, and it's because of the pressure that the teachers has put on the tamariki to speak to the Māori constantly, but also the pressure of them on the parents to ensure that they can speak to the Māori, so that all the work isn't going to be the teachers.
No, the
Actually, it
parents,
should be
parents have to
supplementary.
play a part. You have to play a part in your child's education.
Yes. Kia
It's not a
ora.
babysitting service.
Beautiful. What kiwaha do you use?
For what?
What kind of, like, just, what are some of your favorite ones?
Mm, favorite?
Yeah. Or just any that you use?
Ayahi
Kia ora,
pōko
Taz.
te nā koe. Oh, I don't know. I don't have favorites.
Sprung.
What do I have? What's a favorite then that I have?
Nah, that's what you use. Don't you use sprung?
I thought you meant Māori.
Yeah, of course I do, but these are ones that you just like, these are ones that you use.
Oh,
Track.
Sprung is my favorite because there's a lot of sprung-looking people on here. No, it's all like I think some of my favorites are all like these, what we call kanga, like whakenohua, those sort of ones are probably my favorite.
Cool. So that's our kiwaha e te iwi, whākenahua. Nā te whakamāramatanga, Jess.
Hey, if you listen, you can hear what it is. I think with I think. Oi, whakaraina. Yeah, there's a lot of that, which it's funny because I had a kōrero about that of not trying to use those sort of kupu on here. Because I do know a lot of people use TikTok as this is their connection to te ao Māori, to te reo Māori. So not wanting to have them use it as if it's an actual word, but for people who will depend for reo mo te kauta, those are quite common sort of things that you would hear.
Yeah, I mean, when I was, growing up, my auntie would always use put a hat.
Yeah.
It's just, and if you know my auntie, it's so fits, just like, teka, put a hat.
Yeah.
Or whakamiti.
But yeah, so a lot of
She
those I
used those.
try not to use, but it's a habit because of your surroundings.
I was at my sister's place, and she goes, and my nephew's actually this is my nephew. My nephew comes up to me and he goes, hey uncle, and he's only like 10 years old, and he goes, fucker, no. I was like, oh, this is so embarrassing.
Kids have no filter.
I wish they did. Yeah. So if anyone wants to know, I have a video which I've done all the phonetic translations, the correct kupu, for 5 kiwaha that you can use. Nah, it's not the mullet nephew. That's the other one. Though he does have a mullet as well.
Mahuna way.
Yeah. Oh, mahu nā wai.
Yeah, a lot of those are probably, they're funny. And I think a lot of those kupu have memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a kupu that you've just learned?
A kupu that I've just learnt. Oh, fuck you, I wrote this down on my phone last night.
It'll come to you.
If anyone from our kapa is watching, this is actually a weddle that I put out for everyone the other day, but don't question me about this.
Ihu mania.
Ihumania.
Ihu mania.
Alright. What should we
Yeah, ihu mania.
Should she have
Okay.
been allowed entry?
Oh. That's a cool one, Koro Josh. Puke kura. That sounds pretty complicated for a pretty easy kupu. We in Pahawera, we use mariki for children, I suppose. Has it come to you yet?
No.
Okay, we're getting out the book. We are getting out the book of treats.
I'm stuck with kupu in my head that I don't like.
How appropriate. Pōngange. Pōngange. Pōngange.
Whose was that?
That's my one. That's our kupu o te pō. And that's confused. Another word for confused. Oh, but these other kupu, eh? Oh, here we go. Koromaki. We're going to go with koromaki, which means obsessed. Koromaki.
Oh, I don't like that one, Josh. I do not like that one.
Yeah, kare he tohu tō mo te koromaki. But for pōngange ai. Yes, pōkaikaha and rangirua. Hewa no, who's a pōngange? Who is a pūkōrero or someone that speaks to their mind that you love listening to?
Who is a pūkōrero or someone that speaks to their mind that you love listening to?
Now the sound is horrible. What did you change? What in the heck was that? Chris Winitama, kia ora. E te iwi, if you want to add in some of the people that you like hearing, then tukuna mai.
All right, mate. Someone tried to call me and then it was just echoing and crazy. Someone who I like to hear speak, who's actually an uncle of mine, Uncle Che Wilson. Che Wilson. Panya Papa.
Oh, the best.
Kokwe. Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I am in the ilk of Panya Papa and Che Wilson. Thank you, Ewa.
Hi, Uncle Che will probably be one of my favorites.
Oh, wait.
Uncle Che would be probably one of the top.
Awesome. Oh, man. Now I have to live up to that expectation. Okay, so you are quite infamous. You are quite notorious for a specific reo-hapa that you don't like. And you have spoken to this. Do you have another reo-hapa that really grinds your gears?
Yep. The dragging of kupu, like kanohi.
Okay.
Other than my famous S, kanohi annoys me every time I hear it. D, on whāngaid.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like this anymore.
He tangata tata. He te mutinga o tērā. Ai, tika. Here we, and you know what, with the S video, a lot of people had a lot of big issues with that. Like, people just didn't like it. And I think what the problem was, just from what I noticed, is the problem that people had, especially Māori, is the fact that I said shame at the end, because Māori have internal trauma from the word shame.
Such a bite. Rangona hiatanga. Oof.
Yes, people have a lot of mamai with the word shame, but hey, look, if you're an adult and you didn't realize there's not an S, there's a problem.
So, it's iwi. Jess is saying that there's no S in Te Reo Māori unless you're from Ngāti Hine and you want to be special. And there's no D, such as whāngai, which I feel sprung because I said it the other day.
I know,
And
I
Jess
pulled you up in
is
the comments
reminding
straight
me
away.
there is no such thing as, well, there is such a thing, but it's a weird thing to say, is tūwhera ia tātou, which I said earlier today. Tūwhera ia tātou means to open us.
And then even with some kupu is the ing. You know, oh, so-and-so was really upset. She was hard out tangying. Tangying?
Oh, yeah.
Tangying? Fuck is tangying?
Okay, look, let's go on to the other side of that kōrero. Because we are trying to build these kupu into our vernacular, is there a space for that? You
No.
know, because, oh, okay.
What for?
No space for it, iwi.
Don't
No
try and add
tangi.
stuff. Don't try and add new. Oh, mita. When people say mita, sorry, just reminded me. Don't try and add something new when we haven't got it all the way together yet. Let's just try and get it right before we add something new.
Look, I've just been absolutely sprung this whole time. Kura Josh has pointed out that he's absolutely right. I've said reo hapa the whole time. It's hapa reo. Let me just correct myself. So look, I've made a few errors, and that's okay.
Hey, but it happens. You don't have to be perfect, but when you're corrected about it, don't get like upset. Just fix it.
Got any more? This is quite a.
Um, waka. My waka is tiny. Just read it, but this is okay. Kia pono. I had this kōrero with my sister the other day. Literally just the other day. I've noticed though with some people, when they're so used to hearing it said a certain way, whether your mum did it, your dad, your uncle, or something like that, they're used to hearing it a certain way. So they may read it and see WAKA. They know what the word is, but they instantly go back to the sound that they're used to hearing instead of reading what was in front of them.
I think we're all quite notorious for these sort of being lazy, I suppose. I never say waka, but I got called out the other day with the use of the EA. Like, I don't say mita, never say mita, but when you like properly enunciate the E sound, so we just be on all the time. But I also think that there's like a bridge in the reo. There's like part of it is like we are still holding on to that mispronunciation, and also just like when I speak, like and I stand to speak, my pronunciation is pretty on. But when I just regularly talk, so I'm doing the sort of piki te reo, chucking in kupu into my English kōrero, sometimes that comes across quite molded, mixed together.
Yep.
E te tō.
Te tō.
E te tō. My ass. Okay, if you want the marae atia, you've got free reign to talk on any kaupapa. What are you talking about?
Something needs to change to bring our rangatahi back. I feel, maybe not on all, but I feel in quite a lot of marae, our rangatahi are not interested. I remember a little kōrero a while ago. We had a wānanga or something online, and someone got quite upset about it and was like, "These are hōhonu kōrero that should be just for us." Um, and I'm like, and I remember my response to that was, well, a lot of our rangatahi and people who are disconnected utilize TikTok, for example, to reconnect, to find their hononga. And if this is where the rangatahi are, then why not bring it to them? If they're not coming to us, we need to go to them. So even kanohi ki te kanohi, we need to figure out how to bring them home or figure out how we can get to them to make them interested to come home.
I was talking to my uncle about this very same kōrero. Well, not my uncle, sorry, my colleague about this very same kōrero, and it's just so interesting because we keep on saying stuff like, ka pu te ruha, ka hau te rangatahi, but really, where's our focus on our rangatahi?
Mm-hmm.
We say stuff like, oh yeah, the mate atu he te kura, ara mai he te kura, but we're waiting until this person passed away, and our life expectancy back then wasn't as long as it is, so people are sort of staying away, keeping away. It's not actually until later on in life until we can, I wouldn't say sell it, but when you start to connect again, that's when it becomes popular. But you're going to go through 10 years, 15 years just wanting to do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And as you start to settle down, you start to realize the importance of your reo, I suppose. That's a really good kōrero. Thanks, Jess. We haven't heard that one before yet. The kōrero, kaupapa kōrero, was about how we can attract our tamariki, our rangatahi, our taiohi, to te ao Māori. Reka rawa.
My reasoning behind that is for, I suppose, the adults who are not connected. I'm not interested in helping you. You'll grow and you can figure it out. Our rangatahi, I don't want there to be another generation that misses.
Who communicates that? So, look, when we were talking about the marae, and I know that we came up with a hypothesis situation. Who communicates that? Is it the older people, which generally is in that space, or is it our own generation?
I think it's everyone. For example, look at Rui, right? Rui was very connected with the rangatahi and the pakeke, and could be that middle person. Having rangatahi on the pai for certain kaupapa. Me personally, maybe for tangihanga, I wouldn't suggest it, but for just kaupapa in general, when there's a pōwhiri, why is there not rangatahi on the pai? Why is that young girl over there not learning how to karanga?
Perhaps it's a separation of, the rangatahi over there doing their thing and just plotting away, while the adults are over here and they're not communicating those kaupapa. Because the worst thing you can do to a tamaiti or a rangatahi is put them into a space where they're completely out of their, where they're going to experience a shame.
Yeah.
So if I was to say, oh yeah, let's get my nephew to come and speak on the pai, I know that he's just going to freeze because he doesn't know what the hell's going on, and actually probably, he doesn't live that world.
Hey, but you can start. You got to start somewhere. He could be the pick up the koha. He could be the pick up the koha boy and start somewhere. I know that. Just randomly because I remembered it. Mauria Marae in Waikato, Whaia Parehiwa, Totarewa. She always would encourage rangatahi to sit on the pai. Because if you're going to stuff it up, you must stuff it up at home. Your home's going to be the worst critics, so they learn. They got no other option but learn.
Kia ora, thanks, Jess. That's really cool. Okay, we're going to go deep at iwi. I know that we've kind of already kind of gone there anyway. Should wahine be allowed to speak on the marae?
Yes.
Trans wahine?
Yes.
Beautiful.
If your kōrero, if it doesn't matter what gender you are, if the kōrero is right and the kōrero is helpful, let them speak.
I love it. I agree. If they've got a kōrero, it needs to be said.
And it's worth listening to, sure, because we hear a lot of repetitive kōrero on the pai. Well, 3 of our tāne repeat the same thing, just in different words as the last 3 people.
I think, my whakaaro on that has kind of changed a little bit because I think that there's not people have to whakakanohi where they're from, and who they represent. And so my whakaaro in terms of, even if it is repeating the same kōrero, there's an opportunity for them to say, we are here because we're not part of that ope. And pai tēnā. And I wouldn't want anyone speaking on behalf of me anyway, unless it's whānau. So I've come to appreciate that a little bit more.
I definitely think that there's wahine, or even trans wahine, that would have a good kōrero to give. Depending on obviously what the kaupapa is.
Yeah, if they want to walk the talk aloud. Biore, taui we learning reo?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Cool.
What does it? It doesn't damage us anyway. Hey, then we got more people to speak to.
Yeah, tika, kia au nei ki te whakataituara koe e oi pakake, ka rea ai ngai tuatu. Yeah. Yeah, mena he toitoi. Pai ake nei. But then again, whether that toitoi was going to come. I was speaking to someone and they're like, oh yeah, I had to wait 10 years before I was afforded the opportunity to speak on the marae. I was like, wow.
No, you should have stood up earlier.
Mustn't have been very good.
Yeah.
I got my own little personal huddle with the fella. Should it be compulsory?
In kura?
All types of kura.
How?
How?
The only reason why I say no is because then we're not in control of the narrative. We're not in control of the kōrero. If you have, boundless amount of tauiwi that can speak our language, they can teach our language. Now, who's monitoring that? Regardless of who, I think everyone is welcome to learn it. That's still ours. Yeah. It's still ours. So no, I don't, because I don't want it to get trashed and, whatever. No. And saying that, though, I do believe that kura kaupapa, there should be more kura kaupapa, and funding should be a lot higher for kura kaupapa Māori. We need more kura kaupapa, but no, I don't think everyone should have it.
I want to ask you this, Patai. I mean, I think I know your answer. I think I know my own answer. What about when your kaumātua don't have the reo? Can rangatahi who have the reo be on the pai?
Of course.
Straight up. Look, we're on different side of the spectrum in terms of our whakaaro on this. I believe that it should be compulsory. Jess believes it to be not compulsory. He pai no.
And he's wrong. So that's okay, though. Remember I said it's okay to be wrong. It's okay not to know e te iwi. You just got to be humble in your not knowing.
There's nothing you can say to that, just... Okay, do you need to speak to reo Māori to wear moko kanohi?
No. But you actively need to seek it. Having toto Māori is not enough. It's not enough. You need to do something about it, and not for anyone else. Not for anyone else. Who cares about anybody else? It's for you, so that you can understand exactly what that is on your face, so you can understand the language that the story is written in. Toto is the bare minimum, but yeah, no, you need to do something. You need to do something about it. And not just Neil, what are you doing for your hapu? Your iwi, your whānau? What are you need to give back? Jess, can you explain in depth why you gave that answer? I just feel that people have, it's hard though, but I think people have gotten, maybe some have gotten it without any intentions, but I think once you get moko kanohi, there's nothing you can stop but have to learn. Your world changes, and I'm saying this from someone who doesn't bear moko yet, but she's coming. Don't you worry. I think that naturally people are going to speak to you. You have moko on your face. Someone is going to speak to you. I roto i te reo. And you have no other option but have to. Eventually, you're going to have to figure it out. For yourself, for your own whānau. Why not? Why wouldn't you? But hey, me haere korua tahi. So you can mai moko and use both grow together.
Renata, can you cut it out? He says, do you need to be able to lay a hangi in order to speak it up?
I just skipped over it. I'm not reading that
out. Okay, cool. So there you go. There you have it, Tiwi. That's Jess's answer about moko kanohi. No. But okay, we're going to bring in a new kōrero because I like to hear Jess's whakaaro on a range of topics. There was a kōrero that came out by an organisation called Kauaka. And with Kauaka, they said, do not share whakapapa when you're at the whare, well, in the wharekai.
Aye, I've seen that one. Funny is, I call these rabbit holes, okay? So there's there's a circle of us, including us as well. I call these rabbit holes, and sometimes I will message in our group chats or whatever in the middle of the night because I've got this kōrero or whatever, or two friends. I ended up, when I seen that, kind of threw me off because I've never thought about it. And because when you talk about, I suppose, whakapapa, you're talking about those that have passed. So it could be a tapu kōrero. So maybe it shouldn't be spoken about at the table. Heoi anō, is the table not noa? So does the table or the kai not then overwrite the tapu? To make it okay?
Well, I think you're mixing two worlds.
Because majority of whakapapa that I know was set around a table. We weren't eating, we were probably having a smoke and a coffee, but you know what I mean?
Cool.
It's interesting. I can see both sides of it. But I'm going to continue to talk whakapapa around the table.
Yeah, panu. Tēnā, kei tēnā, ona no tika, ana no tikanga. So, I can recall many times I sit at the table with a cup of tea and discussing papa. Yeah. But, look, we talk about how this kōrero, it's in some places wouldn't have been passed on if we weren't discussing it in a ngaho situation at the, tepu with kai. But, just for me, I think that we are becoming more and more aware of these spaces of tapu, as we connect to tohunga who know those kōrero. And I just think that the sanctity of tapu has just completely diminished. What is now considered to be tapu?
Benz, you better shut up.
What's considered tapu? Because nowadays it doesn't seem like there's much that is in these formal proceedings.
Well, before you ask the question, what is tapu? People need to what's tapu? People need to figure out what is tapu. What does tapu mean? Tapu of protection, tapu of safety, tapu of makutu. What kind of tapu are you looking for this situation? Sometimes a lot of tapu was just for safety or just hygiene.
It's a big kōrero.
One of my marae belong to the Pani eat with their tūpāpaku. I've seen that. Potentially of power, if you allow it.
So I've seen, tikanga has obviously changed a lot. It's changed a lot, and perhaps there has opened up the space where, it is all good to speak whakapapa. But I think that there are spaces where we are becoming more and more aware of the tapu of certain spaces, and I think that it's important for us to acknowledge those as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I get your kōrero in terms of, what is the tapu for, the protection. But I think, in that situation, when we're talking whakapapa, and we are talking about people who have passed away, we're talking kōrero tapu, and mixing it knowingly in a space where it's whakanoa, I think, we start to blur. So I see both sides of the kōrero as well. Another pātai that I've just kind of made up. He aha kia koe te rangatira? Rangatira.
He Māori te tuatahi. I've just got that one scenario playing over in my head. It's giving Rangatira vibes. Well, tuatahi Brian Tamaki is not a Rangatira.
Why?
Because I don't like him, and I make the rules because I'm elite.
Oh.
Yeah. No, because I don't think that his teachings or his whakaaro is from a Māori space. I think it depends on the person. He is a rangatira. It depends on the person.
So, in order to be rangatira, you have to think Māori. What are your qualifiers?
My personal qualifiers? What do you do for us? As a iwi, as a hapu, what do you do for us? And do I respect you? Do I even like your kōrero? Because others call you a rangatira doesn't mean that I would respect you as one.
So there's a kōrero there in terms of perception.
Yeah.
Yep. I kind of agree with Rain with that one. He is a rangatira just for sometimes just negative.
And again, it's okay to be wrong. Kia ora, Rain. Yeah, it's an individual whakaaro. It's who you respect as a rangatira. Rangatira. Yeah, exactly. Maybe a rangatira for some, but definitely not for all.
Fair enough. Okay, let's go back into the leo. But I love those kōrero, Jess, and obviously, you're on the wrong side of the fence sometimes.
Oh, good luck.
Greatest lessons learned?
In regards to te ao Māori?
Yes.
Not everyone comes in with pie intentions. And that's like an actual lesson I learned. Yeah, not everyone has a pie wairua. In regards to te ao Māori.
What do you think that's because of?
Jealousy. Jealousy is a huge problem, I think, a lot in Te Ao Māori. It's just a huge. I think it's a huge problem. Jealousy over a lot of things. Just tall poppy syndrome. Just hate.
Because they don't look as good as us? Because they don't look as good as us?
Well, and that's not my fault. Ka aroha.
Ka aroha.
Ka aroha. Maybe your tupuna was sprung and that's why you're sprung.
Do you speak Te Reo Māori to your kids?
No. Some of them, some of the babies, but otherwise no. Because they speak another language, the babies around me.
What language are they speaking?
Fijian.
Neha. Yes, Senator, you will be. Let's go around and let's go throw some tin.
But yeah, some of the babies do. Just depends.
That's cool though. So they'll learn 3 languages.
Yeah, they know basics, like basic commands and stuff like that. But in our house is we have I'm in a Fijian house, basically. So I live with my sister and her husband. Her husband is Fijian. They've been together for years. So we have a close hononga to the Fijian family as well.
And was that a rautaki that the husband said, this is how it's going to be? We're going to learn Fijian, mātua ko te reo, Fijian.
It was a kōrero actually from my karaua that as a wahine, when you say, for example, if you're a wahine from Aotearoa and you went to marry your husband from Ngāti Porou, you become Ngāti Porou. You do as his people do. So when she married Fijian, that's kind of the haerenga that she took, I suppose. Hioi, she is also matatau I te reo.
Go by.
She's an ex-St. Joe's girl.
What could you go to? What could did you go to?
All over. I've moved everywhere. And Whangarei, it was Te Kura Kaupapa Māori o Kokohuia, Cullinan College. I went there, Te Kuitsi. I've moved everywhere, all over the motu. I'm a bit of a gypsy. I'm one of those people that sort of just pack up and go.
Why do you think Te Reo Māori is important?
Yes, Perry, look at our colours, pink and black. Why is Te Reo Māori important before identity? Another kōrero my karaua always used to say is that you will never go far in life if you don't know where it started. So, reo to me coincides with whakapapa. And yeah, you're going to forever wander around the world a little bit lost because you don't know where it started, where you started, how you started.
Beautiful.
Where I taka whakau to, yeah.
Kia ora. What are your goals for your reo for the future?
Just to be more fluid. To be more fluid. That will be my goals.
To be more fluid, like water?
Like as in more flow. No, not fluid. So more fluidity, like to just have more flow without having to chuck English into my gaps.
Yeah. Like that. Fluid. Fluidity. What are your hopes for Te Reo Māori for everyone in the future?
To hear it more. To be able to shop I roto I te reo. That's a goal.
Kia pai mai hoki. To go shopping in Te Reo Māori.
Yeah.
Where would you be shopping?
Who cares? But you know what I mean? Like at Countdown, to have the staff all speak it ill. You know, all of those sort of things. So wherever you're shopping. If you're at Cotton On, you know, if you're at New World. Yeah.
Kia kite kia rongo. Beauty. Beauty. Okay, Jess. Look, you've made it through you've made it through the firing line, the gauntlet per se of these part-time, and what a pleasure! What an absolute pleasure it's been. But two more part-time.
Mm.
What does your reo mean to you?
But it was my identity. It's a key sign straight away to Tauiwi, who I am and where I'm from.
Cool. E te re te iwi. E te iwi. E te
Yeah,
iwi.
Tauiwi.
At.
At.
Okay, final part-time. And then what we're going to do, so that you can all prepare yourselves, I'm going to ask you te hunga mā taki, mena he pātai wau tukuna mai for Jess to answer. But I'm going to aim with one last pātai, which is, who are your favourite kapa?
Oh, don't do that. Does it have to be overall or can we just pick items?
Oh, yeah, actually, you can do that. Let's try that.
Okay. The pressure. Oh my gosh. Are we going through like the whole bracket?
Wow, you're setting the rules.
Okay, wait, let's see that te matapi'i. Whakaeke. Oh, let's just go Matarai. You know, they do the same thing, but who cares? I like them. You know, it's always Matarai, Yore, who someone jumps, they land, anahi, anaha. Yeah, but I like them. Poi has to be anyone from Te Arawa.
Uh-huh.
Anyone. I think they are the be all and end all of Poi. Haka.
Motete?
Motete is my favorite. Whangara.
Whangara.
Haka would be between Te Pau o Manga Tāwhiri and Te Whanua Apanui. Poi also Te Pau o Manga Tāwhiri. Whakaeke whakawātia ngā pau o roto.
Yeah. When I think about who I look forward to the most at Matatini, it's Te Pau o Manga Tāwhiri.
I love TPM.
Me too. They're like soldiers, you know? But like they look like it. And they're like serving their king. Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, those will be my top.
Yeah. Oh, and the other one was our favourite kahungunu. Kapa. Get on with it.
Ngā te kahununu ki here taunga.
I knew it. That's us, Te Iwi. His favourite is us.
My favourite.
Kapai. Well, that's it. Okay, so did we have any pātai? Pātai?
Pātai? We've got pātai. Does anyone have any pātai?
Oh, nah. Sharon McLeod.
Sharon McLeod, the brand of my lipstick is this. It's a lip balm.
Sharon McLeod's my hoa mahi.
Would you say Te Reo Māori has helped you grow in your trans journey? No. I would say Te Ao Māori has. Pad Thai. I need two pie. Beautiful. Best kohanga and kura e Rotorua. Kare mohio. Not from there.
My nephew goes to Te Koitu. Pretty good, apparently. Oh, you guys, Burger King or McDonald's. About reo.
Te ao Māori.
Not wanna. Okay.
Kia ora kawa.
We've been live for 90 minutes. We're going to shut it off there. Jess. Ngā mihi atu ana kia koe. I tō taonga mai ki tēnei pāhotanga mataora. Ki te karawhiu. I o whakaaro. I o mātauranga. I o whiako mo te reo Māori. Wai hoki o whakaaro mō ngā āhuatanga o te reo Māori hoki. Tēnā koe. Ia, I enei kōrero. Kua he kai mā tātou, he kai mā te hine ngaro. O tira, ka karawhiu atu kia koe, mehe mea he kupu whakamutunga au. Tukua?
That's it, wha oti. Ka mihi, kia koutou katoa.
Ka pai. Māku no tā tātou whare kōrero pēr e whakakapi. Nā reira, kia karakia tātou. Tēnei ka whakairi te ki te kōrero, ka whakahoki ai ngā Māori tiki nā tuai, kia wātea ai mātou, kia puta ai ne pukenga ki te whaia o ki te ao marama, e rongo e whakairi a ki unga kia tina. Tina. Haumi e hui e.
Thank you.
You want to stay on?
Yeah, why not? What are you doing?
Oh, well, look, I was just going to just wrap up the kōrero and then finish, unless there's anything else you want to talk about.
No, I'll jump off. Yeah, I think just do it. Don't complain that you don't have it. Do something about not having it. And don't listen to everyone on TikTok, just us.
Just us, e te iwi. You heard that?
I would say though, I don't know what our moon is sitting at the moment. I didn't actually have a look this morning.
I can tell you.
Māori TikTokers, we're having a lot of dramas on Māori TikTok. We just need to kowtow a little bit, e te iwi.
Get you.
Not me.
Oh. Okay, so today we are at Mawharo. If we're going by a Waikato Tainui schedule. Mawharo.
When isn't there drama? Yeah, there is always some sort of drama going on. Is it tonight or now?
Today, yeah. Mawharu. Oh, we've got Mawharo.
I don't know what's going on in the Māori TikTok world. Oh, just drama. Drama. You know, there's always someone having a drama.
Yeah, tarama.
Yeah, a tarama. There's always some sort of tarama going on. Uncle Che, Ehua, all of you on a live. Wait, Uncle, is that you?
You know, if you want to avoid the drama, e te iwi, come back every night. Well, not every night. I'm not going to go live every night. But tomorrow, I haven't actually been able to secure who I'm going to speak to. So I'm going to drag in our brother, Native Professional, Mr. Peter, to have a kōrero. Because I heard him have a kōrero to something earlier today. And why did I look past him?
Mm-hmm.
If you're still there, Ehua, we'll be getting you in. And at the end of the week, we've got the brother Ngāri no Te Wāti of... What was page called? Te Whare Aio.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah, coming in on Thursday night to have a bit of a guest bag. So yeah, I'm going to message Peter to see if he can come in.
He'll be good. He'll be good.
Guest.
Mm.
And these are the people that I've connected with, I suppose, early in my TikTok journey is people like Jess, Rui, Awaiatu, Peter, and I just think it's really cool for us to tee this in. Tee this.
To what?
I don't know, okay? It's been a bit of a on-off kind of week.
Oh, someone's in here writing something dumb. Aroha mai, since our warning has actually finished. If you're not careful, the melanated Americans will try and tell you that you're from Africa. Well, that is the story there.
aren't we?
It's
That's
also
awesome.
the story
It's
of
really
mankind. Yeah.
Hua noi te iwi. So our popo will come back at about 8 o'clock, have another bit of a chin wag. And yeah. But yeah, I've just really appreciated this corridor.
Bye.
And yeah, keep yourself away from all the drama, e te iwi. And then, you know, come into this to whakanoa. Hiki nā te wairua. Te whakaawe awe pia.
In the future, I want to do something similar in mornings for Haora. Oh, nice.
Ka pai. Arere, te iwi. We'll just end it
Right.
there. Yes, I'm going to go and chill out.
Well,
Probably scroll for about an hour.
it'll be 3 hours, let's be honest.
Look, you are just too honest for your own good.
Thank you so much.
To rewatch your lives. Okay, fantastic. Thank you for asking that question, Ewa. So I have in my bio, there's a link to my YouTube. I've got 28 followers, 28 subscribers. Yeah, big time. And there's probably about 6 or 7 corridor there that you can tap into. But I think that it's more enticing to be in this space as it goes live, because you get to participate as te hunga
In the
mātaki.
corridor, you get to ask questions and whatever.
You get to ask questions. Whether we get to them, we don't know.
Oh.
Often not, but we try to. But the real thing is actually just trying to, prepare our manuhiri as much as we can. So yes, you can rewatch this. I'll post this over the next couple of days. And get in there quick if you can, so subscribe and get in quick, because I think that there's like copyright issues with some of the waiata that I play in the background. So let's turn that down. Yeah, so subscribe to my channel, 114 of you. Last thing as well, can I get our mods to just post up those 2 accounts that we're hoping to get to 500 likes? We're still really keen to get Koka Mahina and Raukura Huata, who is my tuahine, to come and tell their story as well. So, yes, we are wanting to diversify and get as many types of people into these spaces as we can. No, yeah. So whai atu I nei accounts, I nei wharangi, Raukura Huata, Koka Mahina. And if we can, I don't know if you can share, put in your story to follow those accounts. Yeah, because I know that the corridor that I'm going to have with Koka Mahina is going to be dynamite.
Oh, I can't wait for her one. She better get the warning at the start as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. E te iwi, tēnā rawa atu tātou katoa, I tā koutou tainga mai ki tēnei whare. Yeah. When am I speaking to Koka? Whenever we can get her over 500. So she's got a new account, the Ngāhia. If you can go support that account, Koka Mahina. She's posting on her main account, but that account's been banned from the lives.
Shame.
But not from the lives. Love you, brother. Ren. Love you all. Tēnā koutou katoa. Yes. Kia ora mai tātou katoa.